Hey, welcome to Noah Fest Friday. Happy 2024. I am Chef Brandy, joined by
Reverend Cherie. Oh my gosh. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness.
New
This
Year.
is the first Friday of 2024.
It is. It is.
Wow.
That's cool, guys. And if you don't know, I guess we should kick off. Sometimes we don't, we like to manifest the reality that everyone knows who the Noah Fest is, right? That's just what we
Y'all
are
know
right
who we
now.
are already.
But in the spirit of responsible content creation, we're going to introduce ourselves in the Noah Fest. So, Cherie and I are co-creators of the Noah Fast, which is the latest in your fasting needs, helping you to make room for more of what it is you want from your life in a way that's fun, simple, and plant forward.
Oh, okay. My turn. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah. I think the key word is fun. It's a fun fast. It's not meant to be um like oppressive, right? And where you feel like, oh, I'm giving up stuff and I'm upset about it. This is a fast where it is plant focused, the plant forward and plant focused fast, where we want you to put more plants on your plate, but you can make a decision if that means you will be abstaining from meat and dairy. It's your choice, or you could just add more plants on your plate. As we keep saying, we want you to eat the rainbow. We want you to eat um, fruits and vegetables. Across the color spectrum. And this fast was created for using the story of Noah and the ark as the framework. This is a popular biblical story. Many of us, if you ever went to Sunday school or vacation Bible school, this was a story that you always learned about Noah bringing his family and all the animals of the earth onto the ark because God was sending a flood, a great storm, and was going to flood the earth, right, to cleanse the earth. And so we took the key elements from that story to create our fast. One thing that when Noah brought everything on the ark, it was 2 by 2, right? Everyone had a partner. And so we want you to do this fast. We encourage you to have at least one accountability partner. The other thing is, we know there was a lot of water. We're going to focus on not necessarily drinking water today. We're going to be talking about going with the flow, being like water, right? But water is a huge component of the Noah fast. We want you to drink a gallon of water a day. And every time I say drink water, that's it.
Like the drinking game.
Get the water in. You got to get the water in. And so we do that. The rainbow, I already talked about it. That was a huge component of the Noah story. We're eating the rainbow, but they were on the ark with their family. They had a whole lot of time on their hands. So we want you to make good use of your time. Spend it with God, spend it with your family, and most importantly, too, you must make time for yourself. Those are some of the key components of the fast. Before we start, Brandy, I wanted to ask, what is your favorite aspect of the fast?
That's a good question. I like how everything comes together. That's my thing. It's hard to pick one aspect. I like that it is a combination of many things. Like I always say, as a creative, like it's such a big deal that I don't get bored. And so the fact that there's like the food piece, there's the writing piece, the journaling piece, the making room piece, and then like just the exploration in all aspects of it, right? We're talking about exploring things as it relates to food. We'll also talk about exploring things as it relates to moments in our lives that we can create through the process of journaling with figuring out things and discovering things, and even like something as simple as like drinking water. We discover that a gallon of water is a lot, through the process.
It was a little bit of a lot, yeah.
Yeah, especially as you're consuming more like fruits and vegetables that already have water in them, so it's
Every
like
time you say what, I'm gonna sip.
so like that's my favorite part is the collection of the components of the fest. Honestly, it's hard to pick just one.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I think for me, well, I do. My favorite part is the rainbow. I love the idea that I think we did a great job of putting this fast together. They say it's a poor dog that can't wag its own tail. I think we did a fantastic job
Mhm.
of putting this fast together and making it easy to follow, and we color coded it. And I know there's a lot of people who organize their files by color. People are very much into organizing things in a certain way. And this is a very organized fast. So I love the rainbow component. But overall, in totality, what I love about this fast is that there's something in it for everybody. And there's flexibility in this fast. I think that's something I want people to take away. This fast is fun. I love when there's some kind of alliteration. Fun fast.
Yes.
It's also a flexible fast because like I know we were talking to a group before, and one woman was saying that she can't drink a gallon of water a day because of her medical condition,
Right.
a water retention, having a problem flushing out water in her body. And I said, well, then don't do that part, right? There's other components. So you can choose to be all in and do every aspect of the fast, or you can just say, okay, I'm just going to do the water, or I can't do water, but I'll do the food part. I'll eat the rainbow. Or you know what? I really, right now, at this point in my life, I really need to take more time to be reflective, to be more introspective. And I'm going to do the journaling as my fasting activity. So I think there's something in it for everybody where you can choose to do all of it or choose a portion.
Yeah, and I like that too because of the time window, you can actually mix it up through the journey, right? So maybe at the top of the experience, you like, I'm gonna focus on the food, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna move into move into like the journaling part, or like, oh, okay, maybe I realize I'm not drinking enough water, so it really gives you, I like the flexibility, and I mean, I think it's perfect for our topic today about flowing, right?
Yes, we want to talk about going with the flow.
Yeah.
We really feel like, this is January 5th. We just started the new year, but we feel like there might be some people who are already anxious about getting it right this year, doing, getting all their ducks in a row. And we're like, go with the flow.
It's 5 days in.
It's 5 days in.
And not even a full 5 days.
Right. It's only 1:38 over here.
Yes.
Yeah, so we wanted to kind of hear from people. If anybody's out there, make sure you say hi. Want to see who's there. But how are people doing in terms of slowly easing their way into 2024? And not because I know I can be that person where it's like I got a list. Matter of fact, I got my to-do list right here, and I can finally check something off this list. Ooh, I made this list the beginning of the year. That was 4 days ago. I just got checked off one thing. Yeah. But we can get so caught up, like, oh, we gotta get all these things done, and then you get overwhelmed by it, and then you're discouraged because you're like, I didn't get anything done. I didn't do anything, right? And so we're encouraging people to be like water. Go with the flow. Don't be so rigid. Don't be so stiff about it.
Yeah. And it's okay because I think we shift and change. I always think about when we do like in high school, when you were like 16 years old and they are asking you, what do you want to do for the rest of your life for college? Like you really think about that, right? Yeah. Like at 16 years old.
I'm supposed to know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. What I'm going to do. People who have figured it out, but the average person
doesn't know. And like there's all this guilt often, even around something as simple as I went to school for this degree and then I didn't use it. Like people will literally stay in. But like when you think about the fact that you made that decision at the age of 16, it's like we gotta give ourselves like that flexibility, that ability, that permission, so to say, to kind of flow and shift and change. And I say this because maybe in December you had some goals that you thought that you wanted to kind of come into 2024 with, that you wanted to do. Everybody got their new year, new me, memes and all this thing that everybody's going. But like December is a lot. Like December, I always feel like it's just a very demanding month, energetically, responsibility wise. There's just a lot going on. So you know how they say when you're not supposed to sign agreements under duress. How do we know we weren't under duress in December when we made these agreements with ourselves, right? It's okay to, like you say, get to January or get to whenever and make a shift, right? Like
it's okay to pivot.
Yes, pivot. I mean, even though that word was so overused.
Like, words. You know, I don't know if it's so like, because I have words I don't like either. There's a lot of words. I got a list of words that I don't like, and I never use them. I'm not going to speak today, but I understand what you're saying. But,
yes.
You have to pivot. You have to shift, right? And I'm gonna sound like my husband, who's a basketball fan, but it's like you think about when you play basketball. You know, you get the ball in your hand, you may plan to drive to the left, but now somebody comes and sets a pick on your left. Mm-hmm. So now you got to pivot and go right, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I hope I said it right. I hope
he'll let you know.
My basketball, my husband like, yeah, you got it.
Finally.
You got to pivot.
Yeah.
You can't always anticipate what challenges, what roadblocks are going to come that might hinder the plan that you establish. And so when that happens, you just got to change directions. And I think I'm going to read this quote. I'll read one part of it first, and then I'll read the second part of it as we talk. But Bruce Lee is quoted by saying, "Be like water, making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves." Mm-hmm. And I love that, right? I mean, it's a longer quote, but like, be like water. Learn how to, flow and not be so rigid and stiff, because when you're rigid and stiff, what happens with something that's really rigid and stiff? It gets broken, right? If it hits with impact, it breaks. Or I think about some years ago, I was in a car accident and I had my two youngest kids in the car with me, and I'm driving and I'm in traffic, stopped on the highway, no cars are moving. A car behind me, I could see him coming so fast behind me, but I had nowhere to escape. And I could see him coming, so I kind of braced for impact. My kids didn't see it. And so we all went to the hospital. They were fine. I was the one, and I was in the front. They were in the back. So you would think more of the brunt of the impact. The doctor said it's because they were loose. So when the car got hit, their body just kind of went with the flow. But as for me, I braced for impact, so I held myself stiff, and now I still got problems. I got to see a chiropractor, right? And so when you're rigid, when you're stiff, you end up, causing yourself more harm than good, as opposed to trying to be more pliable and going with the flow, not to get so bent out of shape when things are not perfect, though they don't go your way. They're not so neat and tied in a bow. And I know our perfectionists out there, our OCD people probably can't handle that. I'm sorry, because I could be that way too. But there's validity to what we're saying.
Yeah. And I mean, the beauty of like you say, giving yourself that opportunity to flow, like the stuff that comes from it is the stuff that I always love, right? Sometimes you have a vision, you go out to seek it, and there's all this like rigid, that's the best word, like energy towards, like it has to be this way, versus just kind of being like, okay, I have this vision, I have this idea, I have this broad stroke, I'm going to set up these boundaries, and then I'm going to figure out like how we flow through to create whatever it is that we want. And it ends up being something really, I find it being sometimes doper than what you thought when you had like these really rigid plans.
It's true. And I mean, people always share all these kinds of stories of when something didn't go according to plan, and oh wow, it came out better. Like I've heard people who and I forget what musician or music producer was like making some beats, and his daughter bumped the table or something and messed up the sound, but then it ended up, that's the sound he ended up using for the song. It was like, actually, my daughter came in and did something and made it warp the sound, but then we ended up liking that better, right? And so it's like sometimes we have to, and going with the flow, you might stumble upon something greater or equally as good as what you initially planned. So you got to kind of be like water.
Like water.
Yeah. No. And the second part of that Bruce Lee quote, it says, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle and it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I gotta practice that. I'm good with that probably during the day.
Mm.
And then when it gets late in the evening and stuff ain't right and I'm tired and I'm like, okay, my kids didn't do half of what I told them to do before they went to bed. Now they sleeping. I'm still up and I'm like, I'm not going with the flow. So
No.
I'm gonna have to this weekend, I'm going to practice what I'm preaching. Will do my level best to go with the flow.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the whole flow thing. I mean, I've been in the practice of that lately, just because it's just easier. Like even yesterday, there's always way too much stuff to do. I have my list too, so I totally get like the list thing.
I'm like,
And you're like, oh, I can scratch something off. And a lot of times you have a list, even to doing stuff that's not on the list. And you feel like you did something, then you look back at your list and you're like, I literally did like one thing on this list.
but it's like, why can't I celebrate that? Because I've not
That's true.
been productive.
Yes.
It's just these things that I've identified that need to be done.
Right.
I got told, but I got other things done.
Right. So maybe we should have a practice of like writing those things onto the list and then scratching them off, even though they weren't on the original list, right? Putting them on there and then being like, yes, I did these things, even though they weren't the things that I had sought out to do. I did get something done. So
yeah, just did it.
Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, we gotta celebrate those things. I'm not a napper, so to say. But I've been like napping lately as needed. It's been one of those things that when my body's like, Brandy, we need to stop. I'll just be like, okay. I'm not giving you a whole like 8 hours. We don't like I got too much to do. But I'll give you a little 40 to 60 minutes with my yoga nidra that makes it count to like 4 to 6 hours in my body. That's what we're gonna do. And it's been cool. And I am like really appreciating that part of myself where I'm just like, I know there's a bunch of stuff to do, but I'm about to go lay down. Or I know I got a bunch of stuff to do, or I'm gonna go take a walk. Like I've been so consistent with like that. And sometimes I'll look at my list and there'll be so many things. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna walk. And I talk to people who are like, oh, I haven't been out in 3 days because I've been working. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like that can't be your life.
Oh, that's what I want to do. I'm like, I haven't been walking. When you said the last time we were talking, you're like, you're not gonna let life get in the way of your priorities or your health. I forgot how you said it. And I'm like, yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna start walking again. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna keep.
And everybody keeps on all of the socials, at least TikTok. I've been hanging around on TikTok lately. Everybody has the little mini stuff. That's like the new thing right now. I don't know if you've seen them, but they look like they're like the old fashioned. I mean, I don't know, maybe they feel old fashioned, but they.
Oh, you mean like the mini stepper, like in your house?
Yes, like and they just like you just kind of and then they have
a friend of mine bought a what you call it a treadmill, but not a treadmill.
Okay. The little mini one, the walking pad. Yes. So like those things are interesting, especially if you can't get out of the house for some reason.
I'm very intrigued by the walking pad.
The walking pad, because I know people who use them kind of like a standing desk, like they have like a standing desk and then they have a walking pad. Yeah.
I would have to just do the walking pad alone for a good while. Something like that, I would probably hurt myself because I love multitasking, but I feel like the walking pad might require all of my attention.
But what about they have what they're called have you seen that under the desk swirlies? Not swirlies. What are those things called? Bikes. The bikes.
I have one.
Really?
I have one.
Yeah. So like
that's from my grandmother.
That's so funny.
I should totally just put it under the table when I'm sitting here doing stuff and just be pedaling.
Multitasking.
If I do it, I'm gonna be like this. I can't do it smooth. They're gonna be like, what is she doing? I look crazy. Is it a glitch? Is her camera?
What's happening? Is this AI, Reverend Cherie?
Right. Next week we go like I'm gonna have. I'm be like,
I love those. I'm just like, oh, that's so cool. I don't. my legs are too long, so it's not gonna work for me, unfortunately. My desk is too low and my legs are too long, so like it ain't going. Yeah.
Not me. I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
I think I'm taller than I am. And most people, it's funny, most people think that I'm taller than I am because I've been successful at making people believe that I'm taller than I am. It's really great.
Funny. And it's the opposite for me. People always see me and be like, I didn't realize you were tall.
Girl, I didn't believe you told me you were 6 feet. I was like, I can't believe I really made you shorter. I made you my height, and you told me. I was like,
everybody does when they. It's so funny because then everybody I meet is like, to me, it's like so short. Like you're not that short though. Like yeah.
Technically, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'6", right? Okay. But I think it's because one, I don't slouch. I actually try to stay with pretty decent posture. So I think I carry, I've want to be taller. Mm-hmm. And so I carry myself like I'm taller. So people, when I say, yeah, I'm only like 5'5", 5'6", they're like, really? You're taller than that? No. Like I am. Yeah, I just act like I'm taller. People believe it. So when I go to the doctor, I keep saying, if I go to the doctor, don't ask me my height and my weight because I'm not giving you the truth. That's your fault. That's not mine. So you ask me, I'm going to say I'm 6 feet tall.
So funny.
They look at me like
that don't seem right. I'm like, well,
I'm either going to be honest about my height or my weight.
Not both.
I'm not going to be honest about both. So one of them I'm going to lie about so that my
BMI
don't look like I'm obese. I'm like morbidly obese. So what you want? You want truth about height or truth about
Pick one. I'll give you the one you want.
Look, go with the flow, Doc. All right, just go with it.
Cool.
I know we're not going to stay on long time, but we just wanted to check in with everybody and just kind of encourage you all. Go with the flow, right? Like,
yeah,
life is hard enough without us being hard on ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I like that too.
I think we're gonna post that. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, life is hard enough. Hard on ourselves. It's like, we can be our worst critic. We can, hold ourselves to, and it's not a bad thing. Hold yourself to a high standard, but make adjustments when necessary, right?
Yeah.
Be realistic in the standards that you're establishing. And look, it's only January 5.
Yeah, for real.
We got 360 days left.
Yes.
So whatever you faltered on so far in your resolutions, or you haven't even gotten started, you still got 360 days.
Yeah. And it's cool. I mean, I'm even thinking about where, I don't know, and maybe because it fell. I feel like New Year's falling on a Monday is like a weird place for it to fall on in a way.
It needs to fall on a Friday.
Yeah.
And we have till Monday because we like really we don't start till Monday. Right. We need a 3-day window. We need a runway.
We do need a runway. So I think we ended up with like a 6-day runway this year. So technically, that's a 1-8. You got so much. That is back. That is on. But even still, if you want to ship, look, I tell people I have New Year's all the time. When I say New Year's, like if I want to ship something, it'll be like in the middle of March. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. It'll be in the middle of April. I'm like, all right, I'm about to start. Like it doesn't, like we have these calendars that we stick to that really, they're made up. And especially I always have to remind myself as a business like owner, entrepreneur, that we hold ourselves to such high standards on dates that we made up. Like at the end of the day, it's like
you are the boss. You want to change the date? Then change the date. What's the new deadline?
Yes.
You're the boss.
Yes, and a lot of times it's funny because we haven't. I see if this was like Apple, right? Apple done spent $500,000 on a marketing campaign. It's on trains, it's on buses, it's on planes. They got an email campaign, they got a street team, and then they changed the date. We just in our house in our notebook talk about, I'm going to do this by this date. Nobody knows about it but us. We out here holding ourselves.
It's true.
It's crazy.
It's true. And I think you said it earlier, like sometimes you do that, making decisions in that state of mind oftentimes is not good. And I literally just said that earlier to someone. There's a decision I made. I regret making it. I would have made a better business decision had I not imposed this great sense of urgency on myself. It was a deadline that I set that I could have totally been more fluid with. But I'm like, I got to get it done. I got to get it done now. And so the decisions I made ended up not being the most lucrative business decision. And so we got to reevaluate that, whatever deadlines or um, goals that we're trying to meet. Are these hard and fast deadlines, hard and fast goals, or is there some room for negotiation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this conversation. And I love starting the year off with this whole idea of flow. Because like you said, I'm 100% sure that there are people who are like, I'm giving up X. I'm gonna go to the gym every day. I'm gonna do this stuff. People say all these things, and it is already the fifth. And I'm sure some people have slipped and whatever, get back up. Like that's the beauty of like the journey in general. And even if you think about water, right? Like water flows, it might hit a rock, it might, end up, I don't know, hitting a brick or whatever it's doing. It might get absorbed into something, then it has to get squeezed out back into it. Like there's all these things with how water shifts.
Yeah, and water takes on so many forms. Not only in terms of it takes on the shape of whatever container it's in or easily goes around whatever obstacle, but water it can be solid, a liquid, or a gas, depending on the circumstance, right? So it's like, but it's still water. So the heat gets turned up, water, all it does is just turn into gas, right? And then it gets elevated, it gets higher. So when the temperature goes up, that means you're going to go higher. So you got to we can take, that's a whole thing.
Yes, I like this.
Okay, I already made a note. We're gonna have to do some more stuff.
Water thing.
What would the flow be like water? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, no, but I love that. I love that. Yeah, so that's it. Like it's the weekend. The weekend is here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Try to exhale. I'm talking to myself. To all those parents out there, when your kids, because it's the weekend. When I grew up, Saturday was cleaning day. And I started my day with that. I don't know where I went short as a parent. My kids don't, unless I say it, they act like they don't remember. And so I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to try to be like water. I'm going to try not to talk through my teeth.
You could. Are they busy on Friday nights?
Huh?
Are your kids busy Friday nights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say you could attempt to sell them on making Friday night cleaning day, so then they have their Saturday to themselves. So then you know that it's going to get done, because it's hard to sell cleaning on Saturday.
I know. Not sure, but this Friday is like everybody got something.
Okay.
I mean, they got something all the time.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not gonna make it about them.
No, right. That's true.
Make it about me. I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna let y'all know how it went.
Yes, it got in the comments.
Like ice block inside their head, like.
Right. So then when they come at you crazy, then you just fall to pieces. We don't want that. We want them to just go through you like a waterfall, right?
What's wrong with you? Like,
the house is a mess, and when you guys get E. coli,
no one's coming over
this attempted to get you guys to clean. It's like Mary Poppins. But what is that, guys? In the comments, if there's something that you want to go with the flow with, or you think that you could have a better job of going with the flow, like let us know. I'm really, really curious as that really. I just got to think about that with me. I'm a pretty flowy person, though.
You are.
Yeah.
You're definitely more fluid than I am.
Yeah, but I think I have that luxury because I don't have children, right? I think with like you don't like you lose that because like you like there has to be some type of at least I feel there has to be some type of boundaries. We have kids, like when people like kids know what they want, but just let them figure it out. That to me sounds irresponsible. This is just me. I just feel like that. Kids know what they want. What are you talking about? No, they don't.
I think with anything that's within reason, right?
Yeah, right.
So like, okay, within reason, I might, but
I'll consider your contributions, but ultimately, I'm making final decisions.
I like that. I will consider. I love that. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, guys. Look, we want you all to have a good weekend. Don't forget about just be like water. Not only be like water, we want you to drink your water. Remember that is a part of the Noah Fast. If you still want to know more about the Noah Fast, go to thenoahfast.com. You can learn more about this fantastic. I'm gonna use a word that Brandy doesn't like. This fantastic movement. This fun and flexible fast. We want you to join our group. We have a Facebook group. You can join our email list so we can keep you updated on what's going on. We are going to be doing the Noah Fast together as one big group starting February 12th. So you got some time. We haven't yet released the registration information for that, but it will be coming out in the coming weeks. Why we're not releasing it now? Because it's too early and we're going with the flow. Well, if we put it out now, you're gonna be like, I lost the email because I lose emails too. I don't know where it is. It's collapsed somewhere in my Gmail folder and I can't find it. That's why we're gonna wait a couple weeks before.
And we might get y'all save the date though, because just to give you, we might get you with some water on it. We might get you a save the date with a rainbow.
Right, we're gonna get you something, but save the date.
That's it.
It's gonna be for the Lenten season, so we're gonna do a 40-day fast.
Yes,
starting February 12th. All right, guys.
Cool. All right. Until next time.
Have a good weekend, and remember, be like water. Go with the flow.